Welcome back to the channel, Guardians. There have been lots of Arc builds of late to hit the channel, but we've yet to look at any Void ones, and today I'm going to show you a brand new Warlock Weaken build, which takes advantage of the updated functionality of the Chromatic Fire exotic chest piece to weaken targets, and paired with seasonal perks, allows your Warlock to stay alive even in GM Nightfalls. Blood, sweat and tears go into the making of my videos, so if you do find this informative, slap that like button. Let's begin. For those of you that missed the Season 21 patch notes, Chromatic Fire recently got an update. Its previous functionality allowed precision kills on kinetic weapons to cause explosions, just like Dragonfly. Now, depending on your subclass element, these explosions also have an area of effect element condition. For example, on Arc Warlock, precision kills blind nearby targets. In the case of Void Warlocks, these explosions weaken combatants, providing a very strong weaken build when paired with a decent kinetic primary weapon. There are a few decent options that you can slot, especially exotics, such as Forerunner, but for this build at least, Wish Ender is probably your best bet. It does absurd amounts of damage for a primary weapon, capable of one-shotting most red bars in Grandmaster difficulty, and intrinsically stunning barrier champions without seasonal perks. Getting a precision kill with Chromatic Fire will cause nearby targets to be weakened, and if you have a weapon in your elemental slot that rolls Repulsor Brace, you can take full advantage of this build by getting constant overshields. Look no further than the Trace Rifle Hollow Denial. Not only can it roll Repulsor Brace, with the Overload Trace Rifle seasonal perk active, it can stun Overload champions and is overcharged, meaning in most endgame content, your Hollow Denial does 25% more damage, which stacks on top of the weaken effect. Now you may be thinking that contraverse hold does the weaken job better. Contraverse hold is the GOAT of Void Warlock builds, period. However, do you really want to see the 100th contraverse build that most Destiny creators put together in a given year? I thought not. This is entirely new. This build does also allow your grenades to weaken targets also, with a high uptime on grenades and super energy, constant overshields, void breach generation and weaken pulses. Let's break this down, starting with the Void 3.0 build. Aspects wise, Chaos Accelerant, paired with Vortex Grenades and the Undermining and Remnant Fragments, allows your Vortex Grenades to become supercharged and with weaken effects, whilst also having an enhanced duration, pulling combatants into the epicenter of the grenade, weakening them, providing another weaken ability alongside Chromatic Fire. Then, Feed the Void will proc Devour on grenade kills, paired with a Persistence Fragment, allowing Devour to last for 15 seconds, which on kill refreshes your health and grenade energy. This build is very similar to the Contraverse Hold one. The Ashes to Assets mod will grant lots of super energy on grenade kill too. Final Fragment is Harvest, which creates orbs of power when defeating weakened targets, which also spawns a Void Breach. Void Breaches are the key part of this build thanks to the seasonal artifact perks, which we will visit in a second. Still with me? Great! Consider dropping a like and subscribing if you are enjoying this video. I'm less than 200 hours away from being eligible for YouTube Partner. The seasonal perks that combine to turn this build into a GM-worthy one, starting with the authorized Void mods, which will reduce the cost of all your Void mods to 1, including Void Surge and Siphon mods. Then, onto the Breach. On weakened defeats, spawns a Void Breach. Echo of Harvest does the same, however, the Fragment has a cooldown of 10 seconds, the seasonal perk's cooldown is just 4 seconds. So, getting precision kills with Wish Ender will weaken nearby targets, and defeating these will spawn breaches. Protective Breach in the 4th column will grant overshields when picking up said breaches, whilst Supernova, after picking up a breach, allows your next void damage source to create a large weakening pulse. So, picking up breaches grants overshields, and your Void Trace Rifle upon hitting a target will create this large weakening pulse, and defeating said target spawns even more breaches in 4-second intervals, rinse and repeat. Do not worry, Guardians, if you want to see the full build details, as I may have missed out some mods, the dim link is in the description. I have you covered. This build has a high rate of survivability thanks to this combination, having Devour procced alongside the Breach overshields thanks to the constant breach generation and sources of weaken. It will be very difficult to kill in endgame content. The only catch with this build is that it cannot stun unstoppable champions due to Wish Ender and the Trace Rifle equipped, leaving you with no heavy options to stun with them, but regardless, as long as your team can cover them, this build will make you very popular. I've ran this in GM difficulty also, and it is more than capable of carrying you and your team to those golf balls and Conqueror titles, so what are you waiting for? Try this out. That's it for this video. Void builds are quite strong this season thanks to the seasonal perks, don't sleep on them. Next up, a review of the targeted redaction hand cannon in both PvE and PvP. It slaps in PvP, and it may not be very strong in PvE just yet, but you may want to keep it in mind next season. Watch this space. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you found this video useful, informative, or you just like the British accent. This was Plasma Alchemist. Your viewership is much appreciated. Until next time, see you later.